Hi, we're the girls who eat, breathe, and dream motorsport. I am Danique, and I am joined here today by my co-host Jamie and our lovely guest Theresa.
Hello.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's an honor to have you here. So, first of all, who are you and what is your role within the motorsport world?
I am Theresa. I'm 22 years old from Germany, and I worked with media and teams as a videographer and social media manager in different racing series.
Yeah, that's lovely and very interesting. So, you say different racing series. What are the main series that you work in?
I started working in GT Masters last season. Then I switched over to DTM for a bit, and this season I made my main progress in Formula E and also a bit in DTM.
That's very interesting. We both love Formula E, and I also try to follow DTM as much as possible. So it's very nice to have someone who works in those categories here.
I just try to follow DTM a little bit, but it's not always working out. But I try to.
That's good. DTM is a very cool series.
Yeah, I went to... It was actually one of the first race series that I attended. I went there last year in Spa, and I was so sad when they didn't go to Spa this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was lovely.
We kind of miss Spa because we're always racing at the same German racetracks, the same 6 racetracks. So it's kind of sad that we don't have Spa anymore, and also Portimao, Imola, they all got cancelled. So
yeah, but you still have Zandvoort.
Yeah, at least
Zandvoort is still there. Unfortunately, Zandvoort is like a 3-hour train ride for me.
Yeah.
If it was close, I could more easily go to the Nürburgring than to Zandvoort. That says a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a lot of delay last week. Before.
Yeah, with the race week of Zandvoort, I had a lot of delay getting there, but I got there in the end.
That's good.
So how did you come to work in the motorsport and in the media place of the motorsport?
So I studied sports science with a focus in communication and marketing. And I've always been a huge fan of motorsport in general. I followed DTM since 2006 or something around that. So I always loved, especially GT racing. And so I just wanted to try to get into it in any way possible. So mid of last season, I started texting teams, officials from the teams, just asking if they need somebody who takes over their social media for 1 race, 2 races, whatever they wanted, just to get it. And one team replied. Basically, I think 2 teams replied, but I decided to go with 1 team. And I basically did social media and a bit of videography for them in the last season, the last 3 races. And I wanted to continue with them for this season, but unfortunately I was unable to. So I had to look for some other opportunities. That's when I met the guys and girls from eFormel.de, which is a German Formula E magazine and online website. And they were searching for somebody who could shoot their picture and video content for their social media profiles, and also do some previews and debriefs of the races on TikTok and Instagram, which I took over then. And I traveled to 4 races with them, 4 Formula E races, which was quite the experience. And other than that, it's basically just living from one weekend to the next. So I'm freelancing. I never really know if I have work the next weekend and where I have work the next weekend. That's basically the thing you have to deal with in the beginning, because you need some stuff for your portfolio to get some bigger jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in contact with teams. I'm always talking to officials. Every race weekend, I'm making new connections. Networking is so important. And yeah, I'm always hoping that I get some work for the next weekend.
That's very interesting to hear that view and to hear how difficult it is to truly get chosen to work in the world. So, of course, since now you are living on a weekend to weekend basis, what is a goal that you want to try to achieve in the future regarding motorsport?
That's a good question, actually, because I never had the big goal Formula One like most people do, or many people do. Because Formula One for me is a great racing series, but it's not for me to be like away for 24 weekends in the year and just like that's crazy. The new racing calendars are crazy in Formula One. So I'd like to stay in Formula E and also like DTM, GT racing especially. I don't have like a main goal that I say I want to achieve exactly this. I'm just seeing how it unfolds, what I can achieve. I want to get more connections. I still want to work in motorsports. I want to set foot in motorsports and be there for a long time. But yeah, I'll see how it goes. I'll take every opportunity I get. So yeah, whatever comes up next, I'll take it.
Okay. Jamie, you got a question?
No, it's very clear.
Yeah.
So I don't have actually something to ask because your answers are like perfect, like very clear and not really something I really think, oh, I need to ask further. So that's really nice, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I find it very interesting, like, because so many people always say, oh yeah, Formula One is my goal, but to hear people say, oh yeah, Formula One isn't as much my goal as it is for Formula E because of the calendar. Of course, we've heard a lot of team personnel who currently work in Formula One say like it's too much to be able to do on a daily basis. And that they are offering up a lot of free time and everything is incredible to hear. And then to hear more and more people recently say, yeah, Formula One isn't my end goal. It's very interesting for me to hear because so many people for such a long time said, oh yeah, that's my end goal.
Yeah.
I was one of them. I was like, okay, Formula One is the goal, but at the end of the day I was thinking like there are always other series you can help as well, and they deserve as much as good personnel as F1. It's not like they also need to survive. It's not only F1. And to be honest, now that I sometimes see like the community in F1, I'm like, nah, I stick to other series.
Yeah,
I
understand that. Yeah.
I have been shifting a lot more to finding friends and pals and connections within a Formula E community rather than a Formula One community because of the toxicity. And I have noticed that recently with the popularity that Formula E is gaining, that of course some people who bring over the toxicity from F1 are also giving it to Formula E.
Yeah.
I especially noticed it with the people who are saying, yeah, just because you can race in Formula E doesn't mean you can race in Formula One. Whereas it's a completely different series to race in. And we have seen several people such as Stoffel van Doorne, Sebastian Buemi, John-Eric Vergne, André Lotterer, people who have driven in Formula One cars but have proven that it isn't the only option.
Yeah.
It isn't the only way to succeed in motorsport. The cars may not suit you, but then there's almost always a different racing series where they can suit you, which I always find very interesting to see and to hear and to see the views from different people on that topic as well.
Yeah, because I don't know, I think it was Tony and Lizzie who made a TikTok about if there were like Formula One drivers who could drive in Formula E, and everyone was like Max, and was like, I don't think his riding style is suiting the car. You know, that's the thing. Like you can be good in F1, but it doesn't mean you are good in Formula E. It's a different series. It's a different car. It's not the same.
Yeah,
currently, there's
funny.
like one driver in Formula One that I can see race in Formula E, and that's Gasly. But that is because in 2017, he already had driven a Formula E car.
Yeah.
Like in that very chaotic season with Toro Rosso, where half the season he was in the car, half the season Daniil Kvyat was in the car. Then there was Brendan Hartley and Carlos Sainz still in the car as well. Where you're like, what an insane season. And he also drove for Super Formula and Formula E. And I don't know what else he did that year because he did a lot. And he's one of the few currently in Formula One that I can see race in Formula E.
Yeah, totally. Pierre is a real all-rounder, I would say, because he has really done a lot of different things. That's basically like a lot of Formula E drivers are also doing like WEC, World Endurance. So I think it's more likely that a Formula E driver could adapt to the Formula One car than the other way around, because Formula One is like the pinnacle, the best car, everybody says. But it's so different to like Formula E car, especially like in braking matters, because Formula E cars don't really have a brake. They brake because of their two engines. Like one is for basically, it's a bit complicated, but I don't want to get into it too much now. So I think it would be very difficult to adapt in the first place. There would for sure be some drivers who could do it. I can imagine like Oscar Piastri with his very like calm driving style. Maybe he could fit in, but in the end, it's a completely different racing series, and I don't think you can really compare the two cars.
No, definitely not, indeed. And as you say, like there is a lot of people who have their racing style adapted to Formula One. Whereas, of course, with the way the cars are built and drive and the technology and everything, it's so different in Formula E. And I think that's one of the reasons why AlphaTauri and Red Bull should have given Nick an entire year to adapt, because the Formula One cars he had driven were Mercedes engines, which are completely different than the Honda engines. And he had been used to the Formula E car for 3 or 4 years. So like he needed time to adjust, and you saw that in the most recent sessions that he had been driving, he had been improving a lot, but he couldn't show more of that improvement because of Helmut Marko and Christian Horner.
I mean, that's how Red Bull treats their drivers. We have experienced that in a few cases now.
They said they learned from the past. But it's still Red Bull. They did not learn.
Nope.
No. This was so funny because Lewis was asked that and he was like, no, it's not how Formula One works, it's how Red Bull works. And everybody was upset. But in the end of the day, like we all know it's that. Like,
on the one hand, it's how Red Bull works. But when Red Bull was still driving with Renault-powered engines, you saw that Renault wanted to replace Jolyon Palmer, so they put in Carlos Sainz. Like they transferred him from Toro Rosso to Renault, and then Red Bull had to put someone in that Toro Rosso back, and then you had the chaos of the 2017 season. So partially it is Red Bull, but on the other hand, it's also still Formula One. But we also saw Oliver Rowland leaving Mahindra halfway through the season and them having to put Roberto Merhi in.
Yeah, that's definitely the case.
I mean,
so
the Oliver Rowland case was very interesting. I mean, I think many people were expecting him to leave, maybe after the season, not during the season, but I mean, the Mahindra powertrain is really not it, basically. It's like after suffering a lot, like Nico and Robin were suffering this season. They were really suffering.
I was suffering with them as a very big Robin fan, and because of Robin, I started becoming an apt fan and a Nico fan, and now I'm just suffering again. First because Robin broke his hand, then because Lance decided to have a biking accident, then Daniel with his hand, and then Nico with his collarbone. And I was like, why is it this year that all of my favorite drivers are getting injured?
I don't know.
Not a good sign.
No.
It's not a good sign indeed. That was so chaotic. But I've also learned to go through the ups and the downs now.
I mean, the Nico incident was a bit suspicious, to be honest. I still don't know what happened. I know that it happened at Nürburgring while he was like preparing to be commentator for Run, or for like I don't know what, but yeah, I have no idea what happened, but
it's very weird. It's almost as if he doesn't want to drive that car and just wants Stoffel to drive so many cars and do all of his side tasks.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is always talking about Max doing side tasks, but then you have Stoffel.
Stoffel is really doing side tasks, yeah.
Like, it's insane.
I mean, it's a bit sad that Nico misses out on Fuji because it's a great race, but
yeah, especially with the formation lap and the fans being on like the buses on the track at the same time as the drivers. Like, it's one of the reasons why I love WEC so much and their accessibility. But yeah, if something goes wrong, it can go wrong very badly.
Yep.
They're still professional drivers, but anything can happen.
But sometimes still also little kids stick together, so...
We've seen that with the Formula E drivers in Jimmy's in Monaco.
Yeah, that was funny though. They had fun, so that's fine.
I mean,
they had a lot of fun.
In my opinion, Formula E has the most chaotic grid because they are like chaotic on and off the track. So
yeah, and like half the grid is friends with each other, and then you have a few that are not, and then like you have the little groups, and then they add to the group, and then that person takes that one to the group, so they then bring another person, and then eventually you have them all going on holiday together.
I love Formula E holidays. They have those stories and videos and pictures are the best.
I mean, Da Costa catching a shark.
That was so funny.
And then you just have Norman, Mitch, Stoffel, Andre, and Jeff together, and then Nick and Robin also show up at some point. Like, it's chaotic, but it's so much fun.
That's one of the reasons why I really miss Daniel Abt, because he just took it to another level.
Yeah, I do miss him as well.
Yeah,
but yeah.
When we saw the pictures, I was upping like Danique, like that looks like a lot of trouble. They're looking for trouble.
Oh yeah,
they are always looking for trouble.
Trouble.
But talking about the drivers, what is one of the weirdest or craziest interactions you've had with a driver? Because like I saw the video with René at DTM, so I was like curious to see what the weirdest thing that happened to you was.
That's a good question, actually. I would say René is somewhere up there because we have a like very special relationship at this point. So there were some weird things happening. I think I can tell this one story. René is expecting his second child in December, I think, or end of the year. And he announced it the weekend of Monaco. So I wanted to go up to him and congratulate him on a second child because I know him quite well. So I was standing in front of the McLaren garage and Jake Hughes was there. And I was like, Jake, do you know where René is? Is he still around or did he go home or whatever? And he was like, yeah, I think he's just upstairs. Why? What do you need? And I was saying like, yeah, I want to congratulate him on his second child he's expecting and they are expecting in December. And Jake was looking at me like, what? I was like, he didn't tell you? No, he didn't tell me. And I was standing like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So I kind of like spoiled it to him. I don't know, but that was one of the incidents that is still in my mind a lot because I'm still so like embarrassed that I told his teammate before he could tell his teammate.
But you would expect if you knew that he already knew.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you couldn't know.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
But the way that my funniest driver interaction also happened with Jake, well, with not with Jake, but with Jake involved, because my friend had this bucket hat. She was letting the drivers sign in Rome, and Antonio Felix da Costa signed over the signature of Jake, and then he was like, Jake, who's that? And then he was like, oh yeah, the guy who stole my car. Because of course, so that was very funny. And the way that in Monaco we brought stroopwafels for Abt and for Stoffel, and Robin didn't want to share his stroopwafels with Nico, but he did want to share them with us. Yeah. And then later I got a picture sent by my friend where Robin was just casually eating a stroopwafel while signing, and the package was open, like half empty already. And it was during the pit lane walk still that she sent it.
I love this. Oh my God. That's so Robin.
It was very funny. And I also have a video of the way he showed a little notebook that I made for Robin. The way he had to tap Nico with it to show, like, look, I got this in Rome. Like, I got the video, and it was such a funny moment.
Also, so, he was putting a bucket hat. You got him directly on, like, hey, look.
Yeah.
Like
he put it immediately on. He did get candy.
Yes, but you know, like,
and he is basically a child.
Oh yes, like they all are, but also are like grown-ups. But they all
mentally they're still children.
Yeah,
all of them.
But yeah, that's the way. Like, I love the Formula E grid for that so much, because we also gave Sasha candy in Rome, and he didn't want to share them with the team. He thought it was just for him, when it was like a full gift bag full of candy. Like, it was stuffed with like candy and snacks and cookies and stuff, and he thought it was all for him. But I mean,
he's the main character, so
he is the main character. But we also love Norman here, so we got to do both a solid one. But yeah, that's why I love the grid so much. But yeah, so for me, Formula E at the moment is my favorite series. I don't know for Jamie.
Yes, for me as well. I just back, so I'm very happy they're racing this weekend.
But what is for you your favorite series to watch? Not to work in, but to watch.
I think Formula E is also up there right now, because like DTM has always been my favorite racing series, like as far as I can think back. But this season it's still exciting because we have like 9 winners in 10 races or something like that. So it's still exciting, but it's not the DTM I learned to love back then. So I think right now it's Formula E.
Yeah, I think with DTM the thing is also that they like changed some of the stuff compared to last year, and that might also take quite the effect.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
On the series itself. I haven't been watching it as much this year because I've been so busy with a bunch of other stuff, but I'm trying my best. Yes. But that's like, thus far I've either been working during DTM race weekends or Formula 1 was on at the same time, and I usually watch that with my dad. So like, it was always a pick and choose.
Yeah.
Then usually Formula 1 or Formula E or WEC, whatever was on that weekend, won compared to DTM. And not having a proper way to watch it also is the difficulty.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to every DTM race weekend except for the first one in Ottersleben, but all the others I've been to. So I don't have the problem of like watching it in stream or on TV or anything. But I have to say, like, now that the ADAC took over from the ITR, it's different. The vibe is completely different. It's more like GT Masters and not like DTM anymore. So it has changed a lot also, like on track, in the paddock or in the fan village, stuff like that. It has changed a lot from last season.
I can't believe that that's like one reason that some people don't watch it as much as they used to in the past.
Yeah.
Plus, like, when I first watched it, I started watching it for Alex and Liam, and then for Nick, and they left, and then I was like, who do I root for? Because, like, I don't know, because of what happened with Calvin and Liam, something doesn't sit as right, even though I love Abt as a team. So for Abt, I'm mainly rooting for Ricardo at the moment. And then I do love Sheldon a lot because I had a very funny interaction with him and Philippe Eng last year at DTM. So, like, I am still rooting for him, but because I don't have a way to watch it, it's a lot more difficult for me to really follow it and root for the drivers that I like.
I mean, yeah, for me, I'm not working as much in DTM, so I'm mostly there as a fan this season. So I can still support my Audi drivers, all of them. Also Kelvin sometimes. So yeah, like also Patrick Niederhauser, Mathieu Drudi, and Luca Engstler, who are also there, but not as much recognized as the up drivers. But yeah, and of course also René, even though he's driving a BMW now, still supporting him.
Yeah. I also really like Jack Aitken.
Yeah.
But like because I don't follow it as much, I didn't realize that he was driving.
Yeah.
Until he got pole and the win.
I was really happy when Jack got into DTM because I kind of got to know him a little better last year in GT Masters. I also like kind of made friends with Alex, so Jack knows me and I know Jack quite well. So I was really happy when he got into DTM.
That's nice. Like I try to follow him, but I don't always have the ability to. So it's fun to see when a driver that you like saw like years ago testing a Williams or something like that do well in a different racing series where he really gets the chance to shine. Do you have anyone you look up to in motorsport? It can be media, else, or just outside of the media, just in general within the motorsport.
I mean, there's a lot of great women I had the opportunity to meet and to talk to last season, especially in Formula E, because there's more women compared to other racing series.
Yeah.
So one person who really like helped me a lot was Jules Jackson, who she worked with Maserati and is now in Formula One with Red Bull. She gave me great advice. We kind of have the same career path so far. So she was really somebody who I looked up to. Also Alex Thompson, of course, the queen of Formula One. She's not in Formula One anymore, but I think she's one of the women many girls and especially younger girls look up to. But there's so many like Liv Perry from Mahindra or Lizzie Brooks from Maserati. There are so many amazing women. And I think they all like together are a big role model for all the women who want to work in motorsport.
Yeah, I've personally noticed at the 5 Formula E races, 3 race weekends that I've been to, that there is also just in general a lot of women working in Formula E as the organization as well. And I have had the opportunity to chat to a few of them back in Monaco, and then they recognized us in Rome, and it was very fun. They asked us if we would be in London, but we were at Spa that weekend, unfortunately. Otherwise, we would have gone.
I didn't want to go alone, but it was funny because we already knew what was going to happen at London with all those artists. But that's just so funny because we already knew in Monaco, and then I was like, yeah, I really want to go, but I don't want to go alone. So that was not like, it was so funny.
Yeah. If I hadn't been in Spa that weekend, I would have gone. But the thing with choosing between between London and Spa was the fact that we weren't sure if Spa would stay on the calendar, and it was at the moment it was announced and the tickets went on sale. It was supposedly the last year, And since I lived so close to Spa, I was like, I want to experience Formula One there at least once.
Yeah.
Because my dad never took me. I always asked, but he never took me because he always went with another friend of his. So I was like sad, but I went this year and I had the amazing experience with the Van Amersfoort racing team to go into their paddock on a Friday, and it was just an experience and a lot of rain, but a lot of fun as well.
That sounds amazing, yeah.
So I always say Spa is one of those races I definitely recommend because people always think that it's a lot of Max fans, but it's mainly on a Max grandstand. Everything else, it was a lot of mix of who everyone was rooting for. So I always say if you want to go to a Formula One race, go to Hungary or Spa if you want to stay within Europe. Otherwise,
and Austria. It is really nice, but you can't go alone, and you need to realize that there are really a lot of Orange and Max fans. I was there last year, and I'm not the biggest Max fan. I'm like, he's good, but that's for me. That's how far it goes. Like, I acknowledge how good he is, but I'm not the biggest fan. But I was happy to see that there was not a lot of smoke bombs like this year, because these things smell very bad. They
smell bad and they're bad for your lungs.
Yeah. And it was already in the formation lab, they were already putting them on. I was like, why? Why would you do that? Now you don't see anything. Because it will gather around you, so no. But it was really nice. I had a really lovely weekend. So if you like to party and be surrounded with Dutch people, then you need to go there.
If I had to choose one Formula One race, I would definitely choose Red Bull Ring.
I love the Red Bull Ring.
Vibe. Even though Max lost, like, you need to walk up the hill back to the campaign, and you were like surrounded by orange, and I was wearing red, and a friend of mine was wearing like an old Ferrari t-shirt, and I was like, oh, congratulations, and that kind of stuff. But it was right funny because everybody was drunk, and I was like, okay, these are drunk Dutch people. Let's keep walking. I don't know what they're gonna do. Even though I'm Dutch, it's like I still don't know what they do.
Drunk Dutch people are on a different level.
Yeah. But it's one of the other. It's like they are really nice drunk, or they were like very annoying drunk. So I don't know those people, because I don't know if they're like good drunk or like annoying drunk.
Yeah, I had the annoying drunk in Zandvoort DTM. Definitely the annoying.
Oh, yeah. I think for Zandvoort, a lot of people who go there are just there to party. And that's why I'm sad that and at the same time glad that Formula 2 isn't going there next year. Because, like, as much as I loved being there on the Thursday and Friday, like, I was so done with a lot of people, and I was ready to throw punches because people were being so annoying, ignorant, oblivious, and just hateful. Because my friend was in a wheelchair and we tried to clear a path for her, but people wouldn't budge, and then we hit their ankles. And then they got mad at us when we tried to make way and avoid that. So I was ready to throw a punch. But at the same time, it was one of the most fun races to be at in terms of atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's a bit double. But yeah, it's not a race I would recommend for people to go to if they really, really enjoy racing, because of the Dutch fans that have too much money and just want to go there to drink and get drunk and party.
Or get invited by the friends.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of influencers, Dutch influencers, were there because they were like invited by the Prins Bernhard. Prins Bernhard? Yes.
Prins Bernhard, owner of the circuit.
Some,
or owner.
Like with Miami, everybody was like upset that there was like a brand trip from from Charles, but this was kind of the same. But nobody knows because nobody knows.
It was a brand trip from the Prince.
Actually, yeah, kind of. Like there was a lot of people who like didn't watch F1, like they were only there because they were invited. And there were like a handful of people who actually watch F1, but sometimes I think it's good that people who don't have the interest in F1 have the chance to just see and then fall in love with the sport. But it's also double because I think like with Miami there was a whole debate about people who weren't fans coming and the whole thing, and then me seeing all those influencers coming to Zandvoort, I was like, this is the same thing. Like,
yeah,
how?
I think the problem with Zandvoort compared to Miami is a lot of American influencers or like English-talking influencers who already have like a very big established worldwide fan base, whereas the ones in the Netherlands are mostly Dutch and have their content in Dutch, so not as many people know them. So it is not as obvious to what is going on. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, that's true, but like it's the same. I'm like, okay, what happened on the internet on TikTok with Miami is just not right. Like it's gatekeeping, and people saying it's not gatekeeping. Sorry, but it is.
It definitely is.
You're saying that people need to name like at least 3 drivers, and it can be Lewis and Max. That's basically gatekeeping. Even though you think it's not, it's very obvious.
Yeah.
Like
I will gladly acknowledge I try to gatekeep Formula E from people.
I know.
But that's because there are some Formula 1 creators. I will gladly say that there are some Formula 1 creators who are just there to create content and to gain popularity without knowing an ounce of the sport, without caring about being in the way for other fans. It's something that we experienced while we were in the Monaco pit lane walk. There was like this one content creator who kept pushing in front of us.
Yeah. And that's the only annoying thing was every time we were standing at a table, she was coming with her little friend, and I was like, I know this friend, but girl, just move your ass because you're in the way. Like people are waiting for a signature or want to have like a little conversation, but you're just doing your trend. I think just wait to the end of something, but don't do that when other people who are really interested in Formula E and in the drivers. It was just, I could almost like grab her and like, girl, just go, please.
I feel that, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad that we waited up till the driver showed up. Yes. Like, we may have missed McLaren, Maserati, and basically Jaguar, but it was worth it.
I didn't.
You did. No, well, we were at Jaguar, but like we didn't get the full experience.
Yes. And Mitch was still sitting with one driver's card, and I was standing there and nobody was taking it, and I was like, okay, and he was sitting like, yeah, I still have one, and I was like, okay, that's mine now. And then we needed to leave, so I was very happy that I got that driver's card.
That's good.
So much fun. And he was also sitting like, yeah, I still have a driver's card, I'm still not going, so does someone want this?
Yeah. It was very funny. I ended up missing Maserati again in Rome because, of course, their home race, it was very busy. But I got all of the others, and I did see the drivers. I just didn't get to go up to them. But I got to do that last year in Rome, and I got their driver cards from then when it was still Rocket Venturi and Maxi was still at Nissan, but still. Yeah. I still met them. Like, I still had the opportunity with them. Most likely, yeah.
Most of the time, like, meeting the drivers is more valuable than having an autograph card.
Yeah. I'm always like, I'd rather chat with the drivers than think about getting something signed.
Yeah.
Because Robin remembered me and my flag in Rome because we had a little talk with him when we were in Monaco. Nick Cassidy remembered me as well in Rome because I said as a joke that I was hoping that taking a picture with him would bring him luck again, like it did in Monaco and like it did in Spa DTM last year. So I was like, and it did on the Saturday, because it was on the Saturday that we took the picture and he was on the podium.
You should have gone to London and take a picture of him again.
I should have. I stood in front of him and chatted with him, but I didn't take a picture because I was like, I already got one from yesterday. Yeah. So like having two was like a bit double, but yeah. I should have.
Maybe it would have helped. You don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, Rome was an incredible experience again. Just sad that it was so hot.
It was horrible.
This Sunday, I was trying to take pictures from the podium, but my phone was overheating and it wouldn't let me take pictures because of the heat.
No, that's terrible.
But at least we got sprayed with the champagne from Sam.
Norman for me.
Wait, Norman was on the other side. So for me, just Sam.
Yeah.
But we were right behind the Nissan team.
My camera really suffered that day.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Afterwards, it was
Wait, I think we got sprayed white. No, Norman came to the other side. And Sam didn't even spray his own champagne. He literally handed it to a team person and they sprayed it.
Had nothing to do with that.
I think it was Sam knew that he was out of Jag by then already, so I'm not surprised on the one hand. But yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it was like everybody was so scared that Sam doesn't get a good seat for next season. And I knew it for kind of a while because of being in a media center. And yeah, you just listen, you just like hear stuff you're probably not supposed to hear. But yeah, so I was like,
I mean, that's their own fault.
I really want to tell you all that he has a good seat, but I can't. That was stressful.
Yeah. I can believe that. But I think in London, he literally said to a fan, basically confirming that he would be at McLaren. So I was like very confused with that.
Yeah.
And I was like, sir, are you sure that is smart to do?
Oh,
but
no.
it's Sam, so no.
Yeah, we were talking, I don't know who said that to, but I was like, last with George going to Mercedes, that was like the worst kept secret in the paddock in F1. This was the same. This was exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because everybody knew it.
The same with Robin moving back to Envision.
Yeah.
Because the moment it was announced that it was his last race with Abt, it was announced that Robin would go back, would leave Abt, I knew he would go back to Envision. Even though I had heard a lot of rumors that that Envision didn't want him back. Like, I heard those rumors already in Rome. And on the one hand, I can believe that. But I've also heard the rumors that he didn't want to go back to Envision originally. But basing on, like, the performance of the team, I'm not surprised that he chose to go back to Envision. So that was, like, pretty quickly known. And the moment it was known that Norman would be leaving Nissan because of the picture that was taken in London, I was like, Oliver Rowland is going to get that seat back. Because he just fits so well in that team. I was going to miss Sasha and Norman, but Oliver and Sasha, I'm very interested to see how that's going to turn out.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the different personalities. But yeah. And I'm just scared
Norman and Sasha are like the perfect duo. They are hilarious together. Just media wise, it's like you want like a couple like that in your team to just make it interesting also for the media team. Because that's the only thing I'm also like a big Norman fan, so I'm very sad. But that's part of the game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Ollie Rowland. Like, as his driving style. I don't know him well as a person, but his driving style is just not for me because it's like even more reckless than Lucas Di Grassi, and that says something. But
Yeah.
I think it's good to have him back because he's still a personality in FE, and we need some more drivers who really have a history in FE because they are getting less and less. So it's good that.
Yeah. And I think some of the drivers who do have a history in FE shouldn't be driving for a lot longer in FE because of the way they have been behaving and the way they carry themselves within the community and the sport and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's negative about Di Grassi, but the way he has been behaving towards the media that his own team has put out with the Rome weekend, like with the Barbie picture, the way he was behaving, like that tweet, and then closing off the replies, so everything has to go into the quote tweets. I think that was not a very good move of him, and it has, with some of his things that he said before, like both about women, about the LGBTQ plus community, things like that, he really needs to get some proper media training or something to learn how to behave without causing just controversies.
Yeah,
because that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like Mahindra, because of him at the moment. And I'm just hoping that Jehan will get in that seat next year and he will just turn that team around a bit. But yeah, I don't think Lucas is gonna leave the sport soon because of the role he has had in setting up the series.
Yeah.
And that's just annoying because on the one hand you want new up and coming talents to get the race seats, whereas there's also, and like who at least can show like that they could possibly perform better, but at the same time you also want to keep some of the personalities like Jeff, and of course I wish we could keep Andre, but he clearly does not want to stay. I think he will still attend races, but at Maserati to be together with James Rossiter in the same carriage.
Oh yeah.
I see him. I see them do there. I see that as well because they were like they are chilling almost the whole off season. Yeah. Like it's so funny because
the off season, the way they were in Jimmy's together.
Oh yes,
just constantly chatting to each other.
Yeah, like you can chat to everybody. You live in the same city, so in the same country, so you can see each other tomorrow again. So just go talk to other people.
But no. Attached by the hip, just like Mitch and Stoffel.
Oh yes.
But yeah, it's very.
I don't know if you've heard of that in the Netherlands. Like there is a WhatsApp group of like German sports personalities who live in Monaco. It's called the Monaco Stammtisch. So there is all kind of different people. Like there is Nico Hülkenberg in there. There's Alex Zverev, the tennis player, in there. There's a bunch of footballers like Kevin Volland was in there. Like a whole different bunch of people. And I think that's so funny because you have to imagine all those guys hanging out together like on occasion on the weekend or I don't know when, but that's so funny to me. Also, Max Günther is in there, so that's crazy. I can't wrap my head around it until now, and I don't know if you guys over there know the Geissens, like the German TV family who are like have a lot of money and have a TV show and stuff. So Robert Geiss, the dad of the family, is also in this group. I don't know how, but that's hilarious to me.
Yeah,
that's Monaco vibe. Like that's just Monaco.
It's the same like as Lando and Max always hanging out together, and then adding Nick to the party.
Yeah.
Like Nick de Vries, he's not on the grid anymore, but he's still on the holidays. Max has adopted him basically into going on holiday, enjoying time off together and stuff. Like I know that Nick called Max his big brother on the Formula 1 grid, but like he definitely was. I like the way that them two, and then add Stoffel in the mix, and add Nico Hülkenberg, and add Robin. It would just, I feel like that would just be like a TV show that should happen, or at least like an interview, because of them all speaking Dutch.
Yeah.
Like, it would be so funny.
Oh, yes.
Like, yeah. But yeah. I think there's just some things with the drivers and just personalities within motorsport in general. Because when we were at Jimmy's, Vernon Kay randomly started talking to us. Oliver Askew was constantly walking around. Like, he kept going to the bar as if he couldn't just ask for drinks at their table or something. Like, it was very funny.
Yes, it's just definitely going to do that next year.
Yeah, if we're going to Monaco again, we're definitely going to Jimmy's.
Oh, yeah.
Good plan, yeah.
I'm just saying that anyone who is
after party.
Yeah.
Nobody knows about it, but now they do.
We just randomly, like, we already planned to go to Jimmy's that day.
Oh, yes.
And then we were there, and then she sees Norma walking in, and Stoffel walking in.
Oh my God.
And then all of them came in at some point. And Robin stood in front of us and looked right through us.
Yeah, they were standing like somewhere, and he was like looking straight towards us. And he was just not, it was just like he was just watching through us. It was so funny.
Heads empty, no thoughts.
Like just very empty thoughts. Like,
yeah, it's Robin.
Okay.
He also doesn't know very much how to smile. I love him, but there is barely any pictures where he is smiling.
Yeah.
Unless he is with Nico. So I'm gonna miss him and Nico as teammates, but
so much. I love them so much.
I'm excited to see where Robin and Buemi as teammates will go.
My God.
Especially after, like, I was looking back through interview footage and I saw a video of him and Robin, like Robin and Buemi, and I was like, this is going to be teammates. This is going to be something else.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be interesting who's gonna take as the second driver.
Yeah,
it's like there are a lot of rumors right now. I mean, Kelvin van der Linde is, I think, the number one pick, but I don't know if the calendars are going to work out. I actually haven't looked at them if they are going to have decisions. But
I feel like his priority would be DTM, to stay with his brother in there.
Yeah, definitely. Priority DTM, 100%.
So I'm very curious to see, if not Kelvin, then who else?
Yeah.
Well, we shall see, I guess.
I have to say with Andretti,
secretly, I'm going to be driving that car.
I mean, you can do a lot of things wrong because the car was just not this season. So, no, but I'm also curious. Yeah, I'm also curious about Andretti, if they're going to for Felipe or for someone else. Like, I'm like, I want to know already. Just bring it.
Maserati is staying with their lineup most likely, even though they haven't announced it.
Yeah, but it's very.
It would be weird for them to ship. I mean, to change it.
The thing with Maserati, they wanted to get Felipe in the car, but they also wanted to keep Max because he was performing better than Edo. But Edo had contract, so it would have been very expensive to get him out of the contract. So they're going to keep both.
And I think at the moment Felipe is also so he's rumored for Andretti, but there's also rumors that Zhou doesn't have his budget complete for Formula One to have a contract extension, so they might possibly look for Felipe there. But there's also Theo Pourchaire, who is a Sauber Academy driver, who could possibly go into that Alfa Romeo seat. So I feel they're just like, what's going to happen with Felipe possibly in F1. But at the same time, Theo will most likely win the F2 championship, so he will need a seat or he takes a year out, does a Piastri, but I don't think he will. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with silly season. Because F1 silly seasoning isn't silly seasoning as it has been in the past. I didn't expect it to, but Formula E is just chaotic every year with silly season.
And DTM has silly season mid-season now because we've changed like 3 drivers. So
yeah, like it's insane the way that everything goes.
Yeah.
And I'm just very curious for the Formula 2 season next year, who's going to be where, because there's rumors of Kimi Antonelli going to F2 already, skipping F3 completely. Like, we shall see, I guess.
Yeah, only time will tell.
Don't die.
Danique, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just sore throat a little bit.
Oh no.
I don't have any more questions or anything to say. Don't know if you have questions for us.
I have still one question because that's something I wrote. It's like, what is your goal for the future career-wise? Do you already have like a straight plan ahead?
I mean, I'm currently like in negotiations for a new job. So I can't say much about that, but if it works out the way I wish it would work out, it would be a very, very good thing for me, a very great step in my career. So yeah, I still want to be I don't know if I want to be on the media or on the team side yet, because both sides have their advantages and disadvantages. Mm-hmm. I like to work with like all different drivers on the media side, but it's also great to have a team. You always can rely on them, and you always have, you know exactly what content you need to do for a team. So yeah, I'm just seeing how it works out, I think, and then yeah, just take it step for step and see where it goes.
Sorry, my stomach was like growling. And I wanted to say something, but because of it, I was like, what do I want to say again?
It's fine.
But do you have questions for us?
I wanted to ask before, so I can do it now. Are you two like also looking into working in motorsports, or what is your current situation?
I don't have the right degree, so I'm definitely going to do that first. But yeah, I'm really also have like the page, so that's my main priority most of the time. Like for the race weekend, it's always very hectic because I'm always like, okay, that series is just ended. The results posting, like last night, like Alex Palau was just becoming champion. I saw that like on midnight. I was like, oh no, now I need to post it because otherwise it's just old news. Like I was like, oh no. But that's for now. I'll also see it like as a little portfolio, like something I can do without having to work for a team because it's actually mine. But yeah, the goal in the end is like to want to work in media.
Yeah, for me, I have always been interested in health, medicine, and life sciences. So I'm currently going to start my first year of health sciences at the university. And with that, I have the possibility to go into management and such positions to look into health and stuff. And I'm hoping that in the future, I can also look into possibly becoming part with the FIA or like a governing body and look at the health risks and everything from regulations perspectives and all those things. But not necessarily in motorsport, just in general at the moment still.
That's a good plan, though. I think that's also a thing many people like forget, that you don't have one path into motorsports. There's so many different roles and so many different ways to get into it. So yeah, sounds good.
Like, so many people, especially women, think that the only way to get into motorsport is through media. But there's so many more ways, like engineering and all of that stuff. Joining the FIA with management and the medical center and possibilities there, and looking into the health aspects of everything. So there's so many ways that people don't realize.
Yeah, there's so many paths. Like, I'm very interested in media. For me, media is then the right choice to make. But some people are like very good with numbers and that kind of stuff. Just then you choose something else. But I also think that people only see women as part of like marketing and media, and that's not the case. Like, that was very funny. I had a little chat with the admin of Formula 3 page, and I said also the logo is pink, because in the first I thought I will choose something neutral, but like I'm female, I'm a woman. Pink is also my favorite color. Just why then pink is the perfect color to choose, and also to like show like there is place for women in motorsport if you want to do something in media or do something in engineering or as a mechanic, as a driver. I think we need to see like that it's also a place for women, and that you can do whatever you want to do, where you are good in, and also what you like. Like, some people like media, some people don't. That's fine. And I think that's also like the vibe when we go for with the podcast. Like, it's like we are females, we are women. We can do that. We don't have to need a man to get us on that path.
Yeah,
that's very important.
Exactly.
Like, it's good to have guys in your team. There's nothing wrong with that. But like,
and getting guys as guests as well in the future.
You don't need them to be good or great, like,
or valid.
I mean, yes, but also like Hannah is like the perfect example. She's a woman, and she does amazing. Like, she's one of the people who are actually like, I think, a role model for a lot of people who are into girls who are into engineering. So I think that's great. I wish she was on the podium yesterday, though.
Yeah.
I saw that she was there. I was like, girl, you should have flown there.
I also saw her like, oh yeah, should be you. But
yeah,
I just hope that if the weekend that Max wins his championship, or the weekend after, they put her up on that podium again.
Good. Yeah.
Because the last time was like in 2019 or something.
Yeah, someone told me it was like she was up there in Brazil 2019. I was like, yes, that is a 2019,
Amazing.
It's 2023, like
4 years ago or something. Like, give her a chance now. People now know properly who she is and how much she's involved in making the races a success.
Yeah, so people forget that, like, come on, she needs to get some credit. It's not like, yes, Max is like great, the car is great, but strategy-wise, you still need to do great. Otherwise, you still have nothing. So I hope she is up there at some point this season, because I think it's also important for girls to see there is someone. Like, we have only seen men this season so far.
Yeah.
So, I know she's there. We know she's there. But little girls who are just getting to start watching Formula 1, they don't know. They'll only think, oh, there's only men. But we know there are also women.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that there was like a team that was practicing their pit stops, and there was like a woman also working on the car, and I was so happy to see it. Like, because usually it's just the men doing the pit stops because of how heavy the tires are and the equipment is and everything. But there was a woman there helping them out and stuff. And I was so excited when I saw that. And I was just very happy to see that, because that's not something that often is seen.
No,
So-
and you still have this. That is always the thing. Like if someone posts something about F1 Academy, those comments, it's just
Don't get me started.
insane. Like I would go mad if I was the admin. I was like, you can save that. It's like, yeah, okay. I can delete things, but then you're actually deleting everything because it's going out of hand.
Yeah.
I feel bad for that admin sometimes when they post about F1 Academy, and I'm like, okay, I have discussions. I have had discussions so many times, and at some point, I know, that they just don't want to give in, and then I'm just having discussion and getting to get them wind up, and then they are mad. That's so funny. I think that's funny. Like at two comments, I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. Even if I would tell you straight up facts, you won't listen. And I had some guy, that was so funny. I had a discussion with him, and then he said like, yeah, but stopwatch isn't sexist. And I'm like, no, but men are, and men are still holding the stopwatch. And he went so mad, and I had so much fun. I was like, yeah, you're asking for this. You also can just stop replying to me, but you keep replying with like stupid comments. Like, what do you think I'm going to do? I have fun. Like, it's not even that you winding me up. I'm winding you up, and then you just block me. I was like, okay, good for you.
That's one way to deal with it.
Yeah, I know. I think it was pretty funny because I was like,
It's not a mature way, but it's one way to deal with it.
I was like, okay, you blocked me. You don't know me. I don't know you. And you blocking me only because we're not agreeing. You don't have to agree with me. But sometimes I think guys and men are just so, like, they have like flaps on and don't want to see anything.
Tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision.
It's the same with the fact that a woman has discovered DNA and found a helix shape of DNA, but men wrote it down, so people think it's men that discovered it.
There are so many examples for this in science where the women, they actually had to look a man as their like partner in the work, because their work wouldn't have been recognized if they hadn't a male partner by their side who they can like market or something. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah. Same with Madame Curie.
Yeah.
And a lot more. So men like to take accomplishments away from women, and they have been doing that for centuries.
Yes.
So
it's just sometimes just sad.
It's unfortunate. It's the way that life is, and nowadays we are finally recognizing that it's the issue that's on the table.
But it's still an issue.
It's still an issue.
Long way to go.
Yeah, and I always say like, I don't think like F1 Academy is like how it should be, but it's very needed at this point in time, because I always said like, if you have a girl and a boy who are like equal talented, the person who is going to invest is probably going to invest in the boy, because at the end of the day, how it's right now, there are more guys in motorsport and F1 than there are girls. So if you are like have business mindset, you want to have bucks for your money. So then it is how it is. But I think in the end, if we get more girls involved in karting and the pool are equally big, then you can say, okay, women are not good. But at this point in time, you don't know, because we don't have a lot of females coming to the sport.
Yeah.
So that's it's needed.
I mean, there is,
and that's why we're giving the place to women.
Yeah, and there is many amazing female drivers. I mean, that's not a discussion point even. We have the Iron Dames who really showed what women can do. But then there's also like women who are not very progressive in the field. Like I don't wanna pinpoint it on Sophia Flörsch, but Sophia Flörsch for me is kind of the girl who always she focuses so much on driving against guys that she forgets to support the other women in motorsports. Because I think it's still in her Insta bio that she's racing against men and the clock, or clock and men. And I'm like, okay, girl, that's completely fine, but that shouldn't be the focus. That shouldn't be the point of doing
her
it.
And what Danica Patrick recently said as well. Like, I will not go into what she said, but like Sophia Flörsch, Danica Patrick, not good role models.
Yeah.
Whereas Jamie Chadwick, like, she's not the greatest person. I don't fully support her, but she is making that a point. Like, the women need to come with me to move forward to motorsport. And like, same with Bijtske Visser. Like, she has been in endurance before, with a fully women team with Richard Mille Racing. Tatiana Calderon is doing an amazing job as well to show like the women within the motorsport community, the women who are racing. And then like at the same time you have women like Danica Patrick and Sophia Flörsch ruining the reputation of female racing drivers.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, a few days ago, she said something like, yeah, I'm going to drive in one of the best teams in Formula 3 next season. And then I have 2 years in Formula 2. And in 4 years, the plan is to be in Formula 1. And I was like, girl, okay, that's ambitious. I respect ambitious, but that's just
ambitious, but not realistic.
Yeah, and not the way to communicate it. Because women have, it's sad, but women have to really be cautious about what they say about their goals and their ambitions. And that's not the way to communicate it with the media world. That's just not it.
No,
just write it down as a goal, but don't say it out loud, because if it's not happening, you're fucked. Like, you're not have like the right moment then when everybody's going to say like, see, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But if she didn't say anything, nobody would have known that that's the goal. And then if it would happen, then good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's just mixed feelings.
Yes.
But I guess there's not much we can do about it at the moment.
No, at this point I'm like, okay, just
highlight it. Just highlight the problematic points, but try to also make it better for others at the same time.
Yeah. That brings us to the end of this podcast, because we have talked for a very long time. So we want to thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Talk to you. And for our listeners, just give us a follow on our socials, on Instagram and on TikTok. The link will be in like the little description of our podcast. There's a Linktree link. And that was it for today. I hope everybody's going to listen next week, and we see you next week. And Theresa, again, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. It was